was it she used to record her
Record SLR.
school when she was in college?
Describe a little, right before the Depression, describe how the conditions were then, like.
Well, the conditions were pretty normal because my dad was able to be working, and we were provided, the necessary things. But as we grow out, then the Depression came. There was no work. My dad would go out to look for anything that he could, but
What was he doing before the Depression?
a construction work.
How much did he get paid for that? Do you know?
Well, it was less than $20 a week,
And did your mother work at the time?
No,
Before the
not
Depression?
at that time. She worked after 1932.
Did you have to work before the Depression?
Yes, I worked.
Yes, you were.
I was working already doing that. I
Housekeeping?
started working then, because my dad wasn't able to work. So I started working in a factory where they produce Mexican products, And I was only getting $15 there.
A week?
A week. Right after I got out of school. I was 15 years. And then they got up and we had to go to part-time school because at that time, after 16, if you didn't finish, you had to go to school part-time. 1 day a week.
That's not bad.
Even my sister, she was already married. Then, she got married in 1930 and they caught up with us. Both of us graduated from the same school. She got to go 1 year to junior high at that time. And then she got married when she was 17. And then that's when the Depression came in 1930. Well, we felt it. And that's why I started working. Got so bad that they lay off people. And then I went to work at a house taking care of cleaning the house. And then I used to babysit $5 a week. That was in Hollywood Land. I used to work for a teacher. There were Jewish people there. And then in 1932, I got married. And they even built a little apartment for us to live in there so that I could stay working. But then I got pregnant. I couldn't. But your grandpa was, hustling too. He would go down looking for copper and where to collect, to be able to go and sell it and get a little bit of money for whatever we could, eat. Because we didn't eat extravagant things, just to keep us living. We had soups, beans, rice, flour tortillas that we used to make at that time all the time. And then my first baby came in 33, and that's when he was working with the WPA. And they used to provide you with the grocery orders, whatever they would put in there. And like margarine and salt pork, oatmeal, and vegetables. But then he started working with a railroad. And that was the beginning. That's when it started going a little bit better. When my second baby was born.
What year was this?
In 1935. But then he started working as a ditch digger then when your Uncle Richard was born. And that made it easier for us to provide for our children. That's why I say that. But my father used to walk miles to go and pick up work, just to work for nothing, just for what they could give him there, fruits, vegetables, and a lot of fish that he would come home and we would clean it up and eat it. And that's it. And then your grandpa got interested in the plumbing and he started going to school, and he was only getting $24 a week. And
what was the ideal wage at the time? Like
wages?
what was a good wage at the time a week?
At that time, it was. They say that it was about $3.50, $4 an hour. Then, because if your dad was grandpa was worked 8 hours and then 4, no, it was much less than that. Because he was only getting $24 a week with that plumber. And that was in 1935. But when he started going to school, he had more little experience in the plumbing because he was a dish digger. Then his wages started increasing from 24 to 28. But then we kept having children. It seemed like his salary was increased every time I was having them every 2 years. And then then it was pretty good all that time, until 1940 when the second war started, But there was work in that at that time. Even women started working at that time because they were producing a lot of these war weapons, like in at this plant here. What they call it?
General Dynamics?
Yeah, General. In L.A. there was another one, but they used to, put parts for airplanes because they were sending them over. They were even solishing everything that they could, to make for the bombs. They could put that stuff in there. And I wasn't able to work though. Lieutenant, I started working one of those generals. At Lockheed. She worked at Lockheed. She was General Dynamics over here. But we survived. We didn't go without eats or without clothing.
Well, how were the prices at the time? Did they go higher?
For food?
For food and for clothing? Did the prices go higher as your wages went down?
Oh yeah. No, well, like I say, if we could get a loaf of bread for 9 cents, that's when the depression went, And then, even up to when your grandpa was getting $24, we had to pay $18 because we started buying a little place, a little house that he had rebuilt, and that was in 1938. Yes, 1938, that's when we started buying our little place. But your grandpa worked hard to, rebuild it all over. But we were paying $18 a week, a month. But you could imagine, and then we already had 5 children.
I know.
Yeah. But I think everything was, shoes were $1.98, and at Carl's. That was our favorite store to have for our children. But they never went barefooted. And so everything went on better and better because your grandpa started. And then he got into the iron workers for he was better then, the better pay. So that's it. Then I became a widow in 1957.
How did you manage to support all your kids though? How old were most?
Because in 1935 Social Security came, and that's what kept from 35 to 57. It was for Social Security for your children. But it was only $80 a month per each. But then we had built this house. Because we moved there, then we had this one built, and we had to get a loan, and that's what made it rough after your grandpa got sick and passed away. But I made it,
or did you have to take care of the kids?
No, I worked later on when Raymond was already about 14 years.
So he was old enough.
Yeah. So that, because I didn't believe in leaving the house, the children behind. And Raymond, it was good to find mother home,
Yeah.
because all these other kids were getting in problems, because the mothers were working and they weren't there. Not that it's all that the reason, just that they get involved. So I was even lucky that the kids didn't get in trouble at that time. They all went to school, they finished their school. And
What did you do anything for fun during the Depression? Like, did you still go to the movies?
yeah, we used to go to the movies for 5 cents,
5 cents?
the movies.
Was it lower? Was it lower before the Depression?
Yeah, we used to go to the, I remember that, what do you call these movies? Hippodrome. Yeah, it was the name of the, what do you call this, Fox Theater?
Oh yeah, over by Old Pomona?
Yeah, that was called the Hippodrome, And we used to go there after Mass, but we used to walk it, because we used to get 25 cents to cover for our treats on a Sunday. 5 cents for an ice cream cone, and then, it was 5 cents for the admission fee, and then we'd walk in front, and that was around 3rd or 6th Street on way down on Main Street, downtown in LA. And we went to school every day. I mean, a nickel or 15 cents was a lot of money then.
Yeah.
Because you could get anything with a nickel. Because even a chocolate bar was nickel,
Yeah.
Hershey. And a package of gum was a nickel. Or 3 for a dime. So that's why we weren't deprived of not all these treats that we have now, going out to eat every time you want to, not because you don't even have it. You have it at home, but you want to go out and eat. But that's why I can't say that we went without the necessary things. That now we have more than we even can use.
You got married during the Depression, so did you still have like a big wedding, or was it a small wedding?
It was, well, at that time, most everybody used to have small house weddings. But I had my wedding, and I bought my dress, or rather your grandpa.
How much was the dress for at the time?
You want to know?
Yeah.
$10.
Oh my God.
$10. And the veil was, you know how the veils are always expensive.
Yeah. How much was the veil?
Yeah?
How much was the veil?
$5.
$5.
Yeah, so, but they used to have orange blossoms at that time. All the brides wore, if they were considered virgins. But now they wear them whether they're virgins or not.
So she had a white, like, was it long?
Yeah. Yeah, it was long sleeve. I still have it put away.
Still have it? Put away.
Yeah, in my veil. So, that's why I say some people couldn't have afforded it, but at that time, in the Mexican tradition, the groom provided some of the expense if he was able to. He bought my ring. Now, I lost it, but this one was the one that considered my engagement ring.
Yeah.
And it's even where it had 2 little hearts in there, and some great blue clusters.
How'd you lose your other ring?
Huh?
How'd you lose your other ring?
It came out because my hands got swollen. And I put it in this finger, and I think I lost it somewhere, or even.
Well, if your hand got swollen, then they would have to cut it off.
Yeah, because because I didn't want to take it off. I never did take my wedding off, or bought another one because that was old. I wore that for over 25 years. My ring, and my hand my finger was able to fit, but at one time, as my hands got swollen and hard, that you better take it off. I was up there in Arizona, and over there the weather doesn't make it.
Yeah.
And I said, better take it because afterwards it's going to be hard to take it off. I can remember so well that he had took it. But this time I was going to go to LA to go to Nana's house for to go out. I think it was on a Halloween night. And we were going to go there because she belonged to a club. And she would invite. But I would get on the bus and over there and stay overnight. And I would get off on Spring Street. Then my brother-in-law would pick me up there and Spring Street and Temple, where where the City Hall is down there right now. But I think either when I was dressing up, I must have, and I had been cleaning out there in the backyard, somewhere, or with my shower. The only time that I noticed was when I was at the dance, and I was like this, because there was a man that danced with me, and I didn't want to dance with me. and I went over to the other side with my sister. Yeah, I don't want to dance anymore with you. And why? Oh, I don't know why. I just don't feel comfortable with you. So I came over with her, and as I say, I lost my ring. And he said, well, where? And I don't know. So I even thought maybe that when I went to the restroom, maybe I had lost it when pulling up my pants. And I never did find it. I came home and looked all over around here. But in the yard, impossible. Yeah, but I wore my ring all the way through for over 25 years. I think it was more than about 30, because Arthur was already married when I went over there. That's it.
That's fun. Over in the Chavez Ravine where you're living at the time of the Depression?
What do you call it? Palo Verde, yeah.
Palo Verde? Okay. Did a lot of you help each other out, or is it?
Huh?
Did a lot of you help each other out a lot, or?
What?
Did you help each other out a lot? Cause I remember you were saying how go shine someone's shoes or something like that, or go mow their lawn for some.
No, everybody did their own work. Yeah, everybody did that time. Some people would, some boys would have offered to go and shop wood for people, but nobody could afford it then, I remember this, he was a retarded boy, man. He was considered a man but he did. And he would chop wood for people, but it was afterwards, But, no, but how could they afford to pay it for anybody to? And in fact, nobody had lawns.
Yeah, okay.
We'd sweep the backyards and water them, That's the way our backyards were kept, by sweeping them and watering them every day. And we had to wash by hand on the scrubbing board. That's why in 1935, that's when I had my first washing machine. That was your uncle. That's why I know very well when it was, when your Uncle Richard was about a year old.
So pretty much, the whole time, you did, it wasn't really that bad. It's just that you had to.
Yeah, it just.
You just had to lower your budget.
Yeah, you just had to, and go according then, because there's ways and means of stretching a meal, with potatoes, cabbage, carrots. Because that was the only cabbage, vegetable my mother used, cabbage and carrots and potatoes. But she always used to make a pot of soup. for lunchtime with the knee bone, and it was cheap that time. Now even the knee bones are expensive. Those, they will make the menudo. And as far as that, even before that, when they used the slaughters, they used to throw all that, the kidneys and the lungs and the heart out in fields, and the tripe. And then people that knew where they go and pick it up and come home and wash it real good, and they would, make soup out of it. My mother was, that's why she, when they started selling, my mother was the one that, they said they used to throw it away. Now we buy it, the hearts and the liver and the kidney. The Mexicans, because I don't think the Americans used to eat that kind of.
Yeah.
And even the tongue, and that makes very good sandwiches nowadays.
I still can't. I can't. I've never eaten it before, so.
You said you've eaten it, but it makes very good sandwiches. I don't know why those things have got little tiny ones.
Yeah, the gnats are all everywhere. Yeah. There's a lot near my house too. So is there any date during the Depression or whatever that you remember a lot, or it doesn't have to be during? It doesn't have to be during the Depression.
We started dating, and as I say, when we used to go to the park, a baseball park, that they used to have there, and we'd meet there, talk there, then the game would be over. I'd go home because it was just within walking distance, That's like I say. That's the way. And he used to be my father's very good friend, because they used to go out to go look for work. And he was only about 20 or so.
What year was he born? Do you know what year he was born in?
1908. He was born in 1908. He's just 2 years and something older than me. And I never even was thinking would, approach me. One day we were going to church and to the rosary over there, and he caught up with us. Hey, Mary, I want to talk to you. What about? Will you marry me? What? I'm not even your girlfriend. Well, I want to marry you. Well, I have a boyfriend myself, because I did have a boyfriend. Well, just think it over and let me know. And then in the meantime, I broke with that other one. And then one day I was having a date down there with him. This other boyfriend comes around. And I said, well, and I told him, your grandpa, I'll go and talk to him. He's a friend of mine. And I told him that I thought we were through. Well, I was coming to ask you. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going with this other one. And it was the same thing in that dance. We were dancing out there in Fresno. And your grandpa went to this picking grapes too. And this other boy went over there too. And they would have dances, And the other boy came over and danced with me. And then when I was dancing, your grandpa wanted to break. I said, can I have the dancing? Well, can't you see I'm dancing? But anyway, I said, no. So he went and got drunk. That was his way out. And then when your dear Nana got married, I was bridesmaid and at the wedding at home. And then he wanted to come down and his sister didn't want to let because he was drunk. You're not going to go in that condition. Well, I want to go see Mary. You're not. So she said she took his clothes off and put them away. But he was going to walk out in shorts. So I had a fight with him to get him back into bed. But he was funny. Tell you that with this ring we broke up and made up again. We went 3 years. That's how long we went around. And we got married. But he went to send somebody to ask permission, because in those days our way of asking permission to have us get married, my dad would get up from him. And then the second time he sent another one. This time you're going to answer. You're not going to let your dad, you're old enough to answer for you. Okay. So he sent another message. And then they caught my dad that time that he was up. And he said, well, he called me. He says, somebody here is asking for your hand. Do you want to get married? Yes. Well, I don't want you. But I do.
You started crying?
Yeah, that's it. I felt terrible, but I said, well, I have to make up my mind or else what's going to happen. Joe said he for me to answer. So that's the way we got married. 2 months we got married.
How did your dad finally say yes? When did your dad finally say yes?
Well, he had no choice. Because he said, you want to get married? Yes. Well, I don't. Well, I'm sorry. And then my mother was very lenient. Don't let your happiness come easy. And I was the only one working at that time, earning $5 a week. Because I was doing housework. I used to go to Hollywood Land. And I said, oh my God, I'm going to leave the house and my mother and my dad. What little he could get, and then those $5 stretched out. And my mother said, no, don't. God will see after us and all for you. So while I was working, they even built a little apartment so that I could stay working there. Your grandpa helped. And my uncle did the plastering in there. They only did the plumbing. And we got married. Then I got pregnant.
How soon after? How soon after?
How soon after?
You were married?
Was right after, 1 month after.
Woo!
Well, if you don't prevent,
yeah,
you can get pregnant on the first time.
You're more fertile than a Napa Valley.
That's right. So I had to quit working and then came to live with my mother for a short while. And then we lived in a little place that your grandpa fixed up, converted to a little living place, because it was a place where they used to, make products for Victoria. And then they moved out, but they were renting the place. It was a huge home. But your grandpa divided, and out of those oil derricks, how they're built up, you know what they call it. They have a frame where they put the machinery in there to pump it up. And they would get, the wood for burning wood for stoves. But he saved some of that and made a petition, and then he put a little sink, put a hose outside, in order to have this. And I had a wood stove there. And we lived there for until your Uncle Bobby was born, 1933. And then my second one was born 35. The third, 37. And the fourth, 38. And the fifth, 39.
How long were you doing diapers?
Huh?
How long did you do diapers?
How long did I what?
Do diapers. Wash diapers?
15 years. Well, I washed them. I never had no disposable.
Not then, I don't think.
No. But I made it. 4 dozen diapers I would make every time for my children. And I made my own diapers. With easy, buy the material, just put a little hem on them. I either bought the flannel or the showers at that time.
Yeah.
And then your grandpa started working with a PFE, that railroad, for a short while. And then he got into the ditch digging. Then he got interested in the plumbing. So he started correspondence school. But he said, I can't believe that I'm getting good grades. You're doing practical work already. Because he was helping the plumbers. That's why you know what they mean when they ask you questions. So he was, no, they just want my $6 because it was $6 a month for correspondence. That's what they call it. So he registered for a trade school. And then they didn't accept him because he was 1 year older than what, they were supposed to register. So he just let it pass, went back again and made him so 1 year younger. And they accepted him. And then my number 6 baby came in 1942. And then the sixth baby under 43. The other one 44. The other one is 45. And then my last one was on 47.
Okay,
So there was 10 children there.
When did you have the 2 miscarriages?
Huh?
When did you have the 2 miscarriages?
After the 9th child. No, after the 8th. No, the 9th, yeah. And then I had Raymond. And then I had another one after him. Which would have been, 46. And then Raymond was born 47. And then in 48 I had my other miscarriage. So there would have been 12 children there.
There's a couple more years doing diapers if you had them too.
Well, the doctor said it was too close together, and you won't weak, and don't hold them for more than 3 months. And they call them drop, And yes, I had to go to the hospital, because they find out that they were dead, But I was lucky I didn't get no infections, that could have caused. I was mighty lucky. And not even pain, like some people say.
Yeah, it really hurts.
Miscarriage are more painful than a natural birth. But I never did, and I didn't have any disorders. Up till now, I never had any, woman's disease, what they call it, during even my menopause, I never felt bad, just the hot flushes. And that was it, And your grandpa passed away in 57. And I had to raise my children.
How old are you?
There was 8 children to raise.
2 of them had already been old enough?
Huh?
2 of them were already old enough?
Yeah, your Uncle Richard had just gotten married that year, or the year before. And your Uncle Bobby got married in the same year, too. And then Arthur went to the service. And then there was, Georgia graduated to 58. No, he graduated in 56. And then he had even come to the funeral in 57 from the base, And then he went into the Air Force too. Stayed 2 years, Then got out, got married. So that was it. And then the girls started getting married too. Because your Aunt Stella, your Aunt Linda got married in 63. And then your mother got married in 65. And me, 21 years ago. So I can't trace their list. 21, and that's what she did. Yeah.
You're about 32 then. 31.
She was 32.
32?
Yeah. That's what they even said that it was going to be hard for her to have the baby,
Yeah.
But she didn't have a hard time.
When she was 35, like, same time Mom had me.
Yeah. But being the first baby deal. But no, she had a natural birth and normal. And you could say that it was, like even herself, that it wasn't that hard, like some people claim. And it's a big deal. And Stella. That was it. And I worked after when we was still at home. Did housework for 15 years. And I quit, and I'm here.
How would you describe Grandpa?
Huh?
How would you describe Grandpa? How would you describe?
Well, he was a patient and loving father and husband. He never said hard words, or even scolded the kid, He would only say, "Did you hear your mother calling you?" And that was it. And then the kid they'd run away. But he never spanked then.
Well, you did that.
Yeah, I did plenty of it. Boy, I did too. That's why all my hands are crooked.
You used to line them up.
Oh, I won't lie. It was just that when they did it, wow. Yeah, even the boys. The boys, that's why, Louise. I hit myself on my bones. It'd be so mad, when they would, disobey. I said, when I told you what I did, I said, well, okay. I told you to do it.
I heard it one time that you were pouring his beer down the drain. He just all, "I'm Mary."
Yeah, that's right. But I'm telling you that was my life. But as far as your grandpa, he was a loving patient and a good provider. He always provided for his family as he wanted. If he would have given them more than what I gave. But he left us a home.
What did he like to do?
Huh?
What did he like to do?
Oh, he did everything. He used to do, he was master of all, what you call it, master of none, he could do any kind. Carpentry, cement, plumbing was his trade, But he could do anything that you would ask him to do.
Did he have like any hobbies?
Close the bottle. But he's not in excess. He would just do it on the weekend, Friday or Saturday. But he could, all week he wouldn't touch one drop. Never. Because he said he never did like to go with a hangover on a Monday. So it was Friday or Saturday. But he didn't get mean or... Yeah, that's the way he would. I'd be mad at him. He'd untie my string and grab me and kiss him. I'd be shoving him. But no, I couldn't. I would be lying that if I would say he was a mean husband, or even the children, they had nothing to say about it. That their dad mistreated them, because he never did. And that was the only problem, that I didn't like for him to drink. Not that he overdrank, he drank.
Yeah.
But he never got, me like something. Even if I would say something, one time
barn at?
That's the place that we used to go get apricots. Because you know how all those farmers, they always had a big barn. You know,
Is that over in LA?
No, that was in Simi.
Simi Valley?
Simi Valley. Yeah, Santa Susana. It's those little places where the Santa Paula and Oxnard. Oxnard is further than Santa Paula or Simi. And what is this other place that we used to go for the dances that they would have from, they would go to a dance on the weekend. Oh, it was fun. We used to go out. Or the house party. As I say nowadays, the girls only went for a short time when the boys would take them out, but not like we did. We would have Jamaica, you know, like those, and we'd go out there. And it was in the neighborhood because the stores that was there, you know how some people are leaders, you know, they organize and they would have this. Nobody wants you. You shut them off?
No, just let me know that they're...
Oh, okay.
I don't have to call them right now.
Yeah, well, that's it. And here I'm still kicking.
Well, was there any, like... Did you have a favorite color?
A what?
Did you have a favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? You like blue?
Light blue. It might be my favorite.
Was there anything...
And one thing, your grandpa never forgot my birthday. He would always bring me something. A cake or a gift or anything.
And the kids.
But the kids he can remember. He never. That means our anniversary and our cake. Up till the time that he was.
When's your anniversary?
The 22nd of August.
Ooh, that's close to my birthday.
Yeah. And after the time that he was already sick and he couldn't talk very well. My birthday, he said, happy birthday, Mother. Okay. But on the anniversary, which is from June to August, he was in the morning, he said, happy birthday. No more birthday for me this year. I would kid around with it because that's the way we're supposed to do with him. He just cried. So we get up and then we start doing my work and he's following me around. And then he's happy birthday. I told you it's not my birthday. Jesus Christ. And then when I was making tortillas, and he was standing out there in the hallway, hey, well, happy anniversary. Now you get your kisses. But after that, he never forgot my birthday, our anniversary. So I say, what more could I ask of a man?
Yeah.
Or a husband?
Do you remember anything he was wearing that you thought you looked like really good?
He never liked to dress up.
No?
He wanted work clothes. The clean work clothes, and that's all. He didn't even want them. If you don't want to iron them, you don't have to. But put buttons on my shirt.
One time be buttoning it up and there's like a button missing?
Because one time, he had it with a wire.
A wire?
And I would iron them. And that's why I said, if you don't want to iron, put buttons. I don't know why I was lazy to slam the door. She said, can we go? No. Slam the door. Oh, my dad didn't like that. She said, come on, you go. He'll say yes to you. Well, even when she was going to get married, he was going to take off to Mexico. Do what you want now. But then my grandfather, he said, okay, you don't want to take the honor. They're giving you. I'll be here to stand by my granddaughter. So he changed his mind.
Did you talk less Spanish when you were young?
Oh, yeah, that's all the language we use at home. I think school was the only way that we spoke. But there was a lot of Mexicans around there.
So when did you learn English?
Yes.
When did you learn English?
In school. When we started going to school. Because that was my dad's concern. We always, if we went up north to work, by June, that the school closed, and then by September, we'd get back home to go to school. They never kept us out of school. And some people kept their children out of school just to keep them working over there up north. Because that was to some people, it was their only means of earning money.
Going home.
Were you here? Yeah.
Sometimes the only way I can know about my grandpa is like through you. And the only
Makes you know your grandpa, huh?
yes, or through my mom or something, or when people talk about him.
Well, the girls always talk about their dad because all he would do is just their hair. Oh, he admired their hair. Linda's hair, oh, it's golden hair. You give Linda, she had gold. Well, she had 3 shades, but it's blue. When she was younger, she had it more gold. Then with her curls, it would shine more, And he loved to just, hold his hand and take a picture. And Linda was very much attached to her dad, too. So, everybody had a way with him. And even the boys, Robert had a good clapping. How some kids do that, Don't you suck your teeth at me.
Did you used to?
Huh?
Did you used to twist her lips like in
No, yeah, the girl. Or a slap, when pow, or a slap. Shut up. That's not you don't listen. Shut up. They would try to, convince me.
explain to you or to
explain how hard it was. Like that, the time that they took up to the mountains, in the snow. They thought they were going to pull the one on me. But at that time, that's why I don't understand how all these kids can run around. And the mothers don't know anything about their kids, teaching school. And me, and that was the only one. I thought we'd get back to that. That's exactly what you thought. But God is with me. The teachers called me right away that you weren't there in school. So they never tried it. So that was the same thing when they started going out with the boys. You'll be back at a certain time or you don't get. The phone the same way. What's the idea? You get home and but we don't get to talk in school. I scared you. 15 minutes. And he'd say, bad mother. Okay? And the boys were very respectful to it. They didn't, argue about how calm it is. And you all would say, convince girls to come on. Let's stay here longer. At 1 o'clock would be the time. So I knew if they went to a game or to a dance, they stop for a hamburger and don't take nobody smoke. Cigarettes, if you're smoking. I know some of you are smoking, but don't take nobody's cigarette. Because it's always been that marijuana was going on.
Yeah.
Or drink. If they would give them drinks, they would put stuff in their drinks, So that was all that because that I would tell my girl,
This recording was made in the summer of 1995 as part of a college assignment on oral history. Mary Louise Rodriguez was 84, and I, Summer Lopez, her granddaughter, was 18. The location was within the living room of Mary's home on Reservoir in Pomona, California. Despite its amateur quality, it captures some of the most beautiful stories of my family's life.